welcome everyone. Thanks for listening. This is Rob Lee from MTR Podcast, Mastermind Team's Robcast, and I am here with a new episode of Getting to the Truth in This Art. And today I have the curator of the Gallery About Nothing, Maya Camille.
Yes, that's right. That's me.
I like how I said it like it was a question, right?
Yeah.
That's the running thing that I'm doing, just asking things like they're a question. So we have a few people that have kind of joined us and they're listening in. So shout out to all of y'all. And I'm going to get right into it. Like, you know, kind of what we talked about a little bit before we got started was kind of the genesis of doing this podcast. And, you know, my man Rishi says, hi, Maya. So
Hi Rishi. Oh, I can see it. Okay, that's cool.
So I wanted to kind of put this together and just talk to people in and around Baltimore. I think there's a lot of cool, creative individuals out here, and kind of the story around the Gallery About Nothing is pretty interesting to me. So tell me a little bit about the gallery so people can have a better understanding of it.
All right, so the Gallery About Nothing is a Black-owned and operated art gallery in downtown Baltimore, 805 East Baltimore Street. So our story is long and beautiful, and I'm going to give y'all the, cute version. So Mark, he's the founder. He started an art gallery a few years ago called the Incredible Little Art Gallery, and it was really cute and intimate. And he had a few other business partners, and they left with time, and so he still had the space. And he was like, "I like this art shit. Let's keep this art shit going." And when they opened the Incredible Little Art Gallery, I was hosting events in East Baltimore, like community open mics and all that kind of stuff. And I saw what he was doing, and I was like, hi, I would like to do stuff too, right? And so that's it. That's exactly what happened. I was a poet at the time, so he made me do some poetry, and I went through this boot camp type of thing. And I really learned a lot about person-to-person marketing and the importance of telling someone about your event to their face, because you can post it on Instagram, you can post it on social media and all that stuff, but it's a different type of connection where you're like, yeah, this is what I'm doing. But anyway, that's a different point. And so he opened up another art gallery in the same space, and it was called Give and Take, an Artistic Expression or something. I really didn't like that name. Full disclosure, I thought it was really long, but by that time we had more floors in the building. So it was a 3-story building. It was the best. It was every floor, every room you went into a different vibe. It was really cool. And so Give and Take didn't last long. And then we were the Sand Gallery. Now, the Sand Gallery are my favorite days in that building. Sand stands for Sell Art, Not Drugs. And we still have that as a brand underneath the umbrella of the Incredible Creation. Yeah. We sell T-shirts and merch like that with the sand on it, because we think it's important that artists make money and that they get to sell their art to build wealth. You feel me? And so yes. The sand days were amazing. We did a lot of events. We started going around the country. And then our building where we were in, it was being sold. And so Mark and the team there, he was like, I'm leaving, I'm moving. I'm not going to keep the name. I want to do a new name, just have a different experience, more nostalgia, bring back that is like a vibe when you walk into the doors of the Gallery About Nothing. And so he was like, I'm going to call it the Gallery About Nothing. And I'm ride or die. I'm like, okay, where are we going? And so we opened up the Gallery About Nothing, and that's where we are now. The Gallery About Nothing houses the In My Lifetime in the Hip Hop Museum, which opened up in the Sand Gallery on the first floor. Now it's on the second floor of the Gallery About Nothing. And the In My Lifetime in the Hip Hop Museum is the first hip hop museum to open, point blank, period, right here in Baltimore City. And so it's basically the love child. I feel like the Gallery About Nothing is a love letter to Baltimore. That's why I'm attached to it. That's why I bang so hard for the team and for the home team. It's because I'm just a Baltimore shorty. You feel me? Like I'm from over east. I like my chicken box with a lot of hot sauce. When I eat chicken once a year, you feel me? Like I like my crabs. You feel me? Like I'm just one of the girls. I'm the weird art girl, and like I love that I get to be my full authentic Baltimore self in that space, and I don't have to change anything about myself to be there, to make money there, to make connections there, to travel the world there. You feel me? And it's my love letter back to the city that birthed us. So
that's glorious. I mean, like I'm an East Baltimore guy. You know, like I live over here near Hopkins, you know, or whatever, Middle Street or whatever.
Okay,
and you know, like I think there's a lot of people out there like faking the funk, trying to figure out like, how can we like monetize what Baltimore is, and how can we make this the identity? And one of the key components of doing this show is talking to people either who have lived here and who are about Baltimore and invested in Baltimore, or who are people that have always been here and always been about it and authentically real Baltimoreans. And I think that's the thing that gets lost. And, you know, like I always talk shit about that 12 O'Clock Boys movie that's about to drop. And I'm like, yo, it's a lot of Philadelphia dudes attached to it.
Right. It's not, where's the Baltimore accent? Where's the little kids saying dude? Like, where's the little boys crazy legs? Like, come on, like Baltimore, we have such a rich culture. I hate when I'm all like, again, Baltimore truly through and through. And I don't care if I'm in England, if I'm in Antarctica, like I'm repping my hood. And like it grinds my gear when people are like, Baltimore doesn't have any like cultural significance. There's no big cultural scenes. Like we birthed one of the biggest actresses into existence. Like Jada wouldn't be Jada without her Baltimore roots. Say how you feel how you say. We have hustlers, we birth game changers. So like, I'm sorry, I just
No, you good. And that's that thing. Like that's one of the things that popped up. Like I was peeping the social media presence. I follow you on IG, and I was just like, all right, I definitely need to interview her. She's got like energy. She's got like what I'm looking for, just for someone that's repping the city. So like I admire it. What are some of the goals? What are some of the goals for the gallery?
So we definitely want to open up another gallery in Houston. That's like the big goal, to have 2 locations popping at the same time. Whenever they let us go back outside, I cannot wait to get back to hosting sipping paints and like those type of events. I'm working on like a Baltimore hip hop week in August. That'll be really lit. I really want to make sure artists get paid. You feel me? I'm tired of the broke black artist narrative that you gotta struggle, that you gotta work 2-3 other jobs to make money. You do at some points, I'm not gonna stunt, you do have to do that grind work and hustle. But at the end of the day, I feel like everyone needs to be able to make money, and there's so many different ways with the climate of the world for us to make money. So I want to do a Baltimore Hip Hop Week where rappers can learn how to the business of the music business. You feel me? What a merch? How do you get your music on DSPs? How do you plan a tour? How do you get your music in different markets? That kind of stuff. Because like, again, it's Baltimore, a lot of rappers out here. Some of them are very talented and they deserve to get to the next level of music, business, fame, or whatever. So I think that would be really cool. So, and then popping up all over the country. The galleries, we're all about traveling. I want us to get like a mobile, like a Gallery About Nothing mobile or something, and just pop up all across the country. We were about to go to Dreamville, but that got pushed all the way back to August. So,
I mean, I'm here to advocate and support it, because like when I started checking it out, you touched on earlier like this notion of like personal selling, and as a podcaster and being one and looking at this as my art and doing it for 11 years, and just taking it very serious and making it an important thing. I'm like, yo, I don't need likes. I don't need shares. I need endorsements from motherfuckers. I need
Right.
endorsements across that. Like, I'm putting myself out there authentically. And I think that's something that gets lost all the time. So I definitely admire how you're coming off and what you're presenting.
Right. Right. And
So
never mind.
go
Go
ahead. Go
ahead.
ahead.
I
No,
was
go ahead.
going to say so at the gallery about nothing, we showcase 200 pieces of art, 80 different artists, mostly artists of color, and mostly Black women artists. Which is that says a lot because in the art world, I think I read an article. I think Mark and I were talking about it. It's like 13% of all the art in the world that's shown is by Black women. That's only
That's
13%.
very low.
That's low as fuck, right? But at
Yeah.
the gallery about nothing, I want to say like 98.2456% is art by Black women. Our staff, our team is predominantly Black women. We have, of course, we have Black male artists, like
Yeah.
whatever. But I'm just saying, like we have we really support women. We're not just somebody that's like, oh, we have a Black woman, we hired her because we made a mess and we want her to fix it. No, we're like, Black women are the backbone of our operations. Shout out to Z and Brianna and Mish and Key. Like, they
No
really,
tokens. No tokens at the gallery about nothing.
right? No tokens. We really out here. You feel me?
Yeah, and I mean, to kind of paraphrase the whole Hamilton line or what have you, Black women get shit done. So
Facts.
I mean, that's something that like I like to keep everything internally initially, and I was like, this doesn't work. Like, no one cares. So my manager's a Black woman, and I'm like, yo, whatever you want to do, you tell me what I'm doing and shit. And like, I know what I'm doing. I don't really need a manager, but I'm like, yo, you're my manager because I know you're gonna get shit done. I know you're looking out, and I know you got this. So much love, much respect. So I've never interviewed a curator. So tell me about what your day looks like.
Okay, so I'm always on Instagram looking for new artists. Mark and I send like pages back and forth to each other. So the aesthetic of the gallery about nothing is like there's art everywhere. And my vision going into 2020 is to have a wall. We have a wall right now that's dominated by Black and white art.
Mm-hmm.
But I would like to have that be like a featured artist wall. Like every 3 months, we have a new featured artist. And so I'm always looking for new artists for the gallery about nothing. And then I have an art show that's hanging on the west side right now, and it has art by the amazing Kiva Michelle. And that's going to feature a new artist every 3 months. So I'm always looking for new artists, like on Instagram, Twitter, all that. Tumblr, I have to put Tumblr back on my phone because I had
Sure.
Tumblr when I was in my emo poet stage of my life, and
Haven't we
so
all been there?
yes, okay. And so I haven't had it up in a while, but that's my day is that. And then I have a small business where I work with other small business owners. I help them sell their physical products and do social media managing and marketing for them. So learning more about social media and the money behind it, because again, I don't need likes and follows. I need paid ads and sponsorships. And how do I broaden my market from just Black women between the ages of 18 and 35 to in Baltimore City to Black women between the ages of 18 and 50 on the East Coast. You feel me? Like, how
Yeah.
do I reach into new markets and stuff? And then I smoke a lot of weed.
Same.
And so since I'm around artists all the time, I started painting. And I think that's given me a new appreciation and of artists, of visual artists, of painters, or graphic artists, because like when you are painting something, you're creating something, you're really pouring yourself into it. So it gives me more passion to make sure that I represent artists in the right way, and then I'm picking the right artists to showcase. So that's my day. I really want to get into having shows around like the city, showcasing some of my favorite artists, because I feel like I'm spoiled. Like I'm constantly around great artists like all the time, and watching them create and watching them grow and evolve, and I just get to be there like, oh my gosh. And how do you want to sell this? How can I help you make more money? Like that's my job. Like that's
So
it.
what would you say, like, it's two questions. One is related to like searching for artists or what have you, and the other one would be, who are some of your favorite artists? Let's say people who are in Baltimore and around Baltimore, but also who are like larger names that the broader audience may have heard of as well.
Okay. All right. So my favorite artist right now in the city, I really love Tyra Powers. She's amazing, and I feel like her name has ringer power everywhere. Make sure you guys follow her. And then, of course, Kiva Michelle, and then Jasmine Manning. She's a really dope artist here. I like Kid Balloon. I'm into the graffiti art. So Kid Balloon is really cool. There's somebody, I see their art all around the city, but I do not know who they are. But the tag is KSK or KS. I
You
really
see my
want.
art?
That's you?
No, I'm fucking with you. I'm sorry.
Oh
I couldn't
my
help
God, because I was about to say, girl. Oh my God.
it.
Oh my, if you hear this, KSK, whoever you are, find me. I want to like interview you. I want to talk to you. Like, I love it. And then Stanley, he's really awesome. His handle is Sky High Jedi on Instagram. He's really dope. I have some of his art in my house. So those are like the local shorties. And then this is somebody that I follow on Instagram. I'm really bad with like real names because I really do spend a lot of time on Instagram. But it's someone,
Sure.
and their handle is IZMO_. Really, really dope shit. Like really, really dope shit. She's amazing. Her use of color and depth, and I love it. And then Marjani, she's a really dope artist. She's on PG. She's a sculptor. She's amazing. So yeah, those are the ones that are popping out right now. I'm
Yeah.
a little smacked, so I'm sure later I'm gonna think of like a whole list of artists that I should talk about. But those are the ones that I really vibe with.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
So when you're out there like looking for artists, you're looking for someone that's less from Baltimore, like, or someone that's just like local. You're like, look, I want to rock with you. You're one of the things I like to throw out there. I'm invested in your success, right?
Yeah.
So when you're working in that path and you're trying to work with someone creatively, collaboratively, what are you looking for? What is that factor that pops out and like, all right, I fucks with what you're doing?
So initially, I want to look at your art and I want to like feel something in my spirit. I grew up in church, so I'm a firm believer of goosebumps and like when you feel a spirit or energy, your body reacts to it. So I want to have the initial like, ooh, what is that? Like that woo feeling is amazing. And so that's first off a woo. And then I want to see your work ethic. I want to know what you do. I want to see what's your hustle like. Are you doing any shows by yourself? Are you already forming a team? Do you understand the importance of a team? Are you once I see that, I've set up a meeting and like off bat, I'm like, are you late? Are you early? Do you come prepared with your portfolio? Those types of things. How well do you communicate? Because that's something that I've learned over the past few years, how important communication is. Like you can, I feel like people have much more give you more leeway if they know what's going on. You know, if you give me a
Absolutely.
heads up, I'm gonna be 10 minutes late, but you tell me 20, 30 minutes ahead of time. That's like, oh, bet I can take my time. It's just, once I see your art, I gotta vibe with you as a person. I gotta vibe with your work ethic, and then I can see what you can get done. You feel me?
I dig it. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, like in working with anybody that, for one, I bring on to this, like I told you before, I've been doing this for a minute, so I'm very protective of what I do. Like I'm sensitive about my shit, and
As you should be.
and people get weird. They're like, "Oh, it's just a podcast." I was like, "Yeah, but it's probably a billion-dollar industry now." And so I'm not just bringing anybody on. And there's so many people that hit me up that just aren't fits. They just aren't fits for what I'm
Right.
trying to do. And it's like, look, I admire what you're doing. I respect what you're doing, but at the same time, it might not be a fit. And it's not necessarily for what you do professionally. It's just, to your point before, your work ethic. Like I used to record what I do regularly. We did 50 shows. We were doing weekly shows, and probably 60% of those shows he was late. And I'm like, yo, dog, like this is my thing. And not to pull rank or anything, but this is my shit. So you're here for the ride, and not to be an asshole, but it's like you're here for the ride, and acknowledge that, respect that, and let's move forward, or we're not going to move forward.
Right, and to acknowledge that, because I think we all have moments in our lives where we are just there for the ride, and we just gotta acknowledge that, like, yo, I'm here to see what the fuck I can see, touch what the fuck I can touch, and if something happens, and acknowledge that and not be a hindrance to the driver. I think that's what gets us fucked up sometimes. Like, if you want to be a passenger, be a happy passenger. Have the fucking directions up. Pass me the fucking snacks.
Don't be a backseat driver.
Right. Right. Because when it's your turn to drive, the police done pulled us over. So come on, sis. Pick time.
So one of the things that I've noticed in doing this, you're now the 12th episode of this show, and yeah, you're in the first dozen. So I mean, that's the thing. If this goes anywhere, and it's been getting great reviews, but I'll say one of the things that I've noticed, and I want to get your viewpoint on it. Kind of the art scene and the creative scene in and around Baltimore is really cliquish and decentralized, in my opinion. And I've had everything from comedians, I've had restaurant owners, I've had DJs, I've had just a broad array of people from different backgrounds. And I've noticed that same thing, that, like me, I like to look at it like I'm a humanitarian. Yo, can I work with you? Let's put you on. And you'll find people don't even repost the shit that they're on. Like, I interview someone, they don't even repost it. They didn't even share it. And it's like, yo, this is like an hour long, 45-minute long, however long commercial for you. And it's like, people get real weird. And I was on this wave of don't just like my shit, share my shit. And it's ultimately for the benefit of everybody. If you're on, it's like, I admire what you're doing. What are your thoughts around, like, kind of the art scene, maybe locally, or just your art scene, your feelings on the art scene in general being kind of cliquish or being very, insular?
So, I used to say that Baltimore is a silo city. Like,
okay.
There's definitely like the conscious clique, then the hood conscious clique. They're not the hood, but they're conscious, but they still want drinks to Moline. You feel me? And then you have the I'm from somewhere else, but I live here now, and I'm black, so I'm from a place, but I'm not from here clique. It's a lot. It's beautiful. And it can be a hindrance for real, because like cliques don't really get us nowhere. I feel like we learned that in middle school, in high school, hopefully in college too. I don't know. I didn't finish college, but that's neither here nor there. That
it's the same in college.
I couldn't do it. My mom was like, girl, don't you want to do something else? I was like, you're right. I actually do want to go do something else. But I had fun. Anyway, growth comes when we exchange knowledge. And like, how much exchanging of knowledge are we getting if we are only talking to the same group of people? I too can be a victim of a stylo, because I spend a lot of my time at the gallery. I talk to them all the time. They're my family. But however, I understand that for us to grow and for us to get a bigger building, to own a space, to do all these things that we want to do, like, I need to go into these streets. I need to be at other people's events. I need to be talking to people. I share things all the time. I'm out in these streets. I plug other people's stuff better than I plug my own stuff, because I feel like if everybody in Baltimore get on, we all get on. We all slime, we all shining. I mean, like, that's it. Like,
that was one of the things I kicked to my mans. Like, when we first started, when he and I first started working together, I want to say this is like 2010, maybe 2011. We were both smacked high as shit watching fucking Conan. And I was like, yo, when that door opens, there's a slither. I'm gonna kick that bitch in, and you coming with me, man. And it's maintained the same idea, like from the get go. And it's nothing more beautiful than like just doing shit in your city, having people come through, press the flesh, acknowledge what you're doing, acknowledge you as a person. It's fucking fire to me, and it's a drug.
It is. Like, I love when. So at one point in my life, I worked in the nonprofit sector, and I did like a lot of stuff relating to church. And so I would travel a lot and talk places and facilitate stuff. And so it will always warm my heart when someone from San Diego will be like, "Hey, yo, Maya, I'm in town. Let me know what I should do." And whether or not I got to connect with them, I could always send them to places and to spaces with people that would care for them and love on them in a way that I knew they would be, and to get the report back like, "Oh, I went to Be Free Fridays and that shit was lit. Oh, I went to Love and Hip Hop Open Mic and that was amazing. Oh, I went to I got to see Alana at the Impact Hub." Like, I love that shit. Like, I love when I get that back, because it's like, I know my city the shit. What y'all? Why are y'all so shocked? Like, I'm from there. Fuck you talking about? Like,
Catch up,
I'm
dummy.
only right, and like, that's like magic to me. And like, sending people to Black-owned restaurants and letting them know where it is and where they should go and why they should go there. It's a pride that I have in my city that's never going to go nowhere. I don't care if I live in fucking Timbuktu the rest of my fucking life. They're gonna ask me where I'm from. I'm a Baltimore, dummy. Fuck you mean? Like, that's it.
I always run into it when me and one of my buddies will go traveling. And people ask, like, where y'all from? Because they'll pick up an accent. And usually it's like a broad, different location, like New Orleans, fucking Cali, wherever, right? And my man's is from like the county. He's from like Owings Mills and shit. And they'll ask, like, so where y'all from? My man's will interject. He's like, oh, we from Baltimore. I was like, nigga, you from the county.
Facts.
I'm from Baltimore, dog. I was like, East Side. Like, what are you talking about? So
right, I was getting into. I was getting into like a semantics. Is it semantics?
Semantics, yeah.
There it is, semantics. Was a conversation about that with somebody, and it was like, "Well, you're from Baltimore, so you know it's a difference. So if somebody else from here, they don't know it. So why would they care?" And I was like, "I'm going to tell them so they know it. So they have to care. Like, fuck. Why is that?" Like, I get what you saying, my nigga, and also they gonna know it's a fucking difference. Like,
yes,
kill on me.
It's a difference between east side, west side, the whole fucking thing.
Thanks.
When I was at Morgan, I used to hear this shit all the time from like, because I hung out with nothing but New Yorkers, and they were like, "Yo, why y'all complaining about east side, west side, all of this?" And I was like, the same reason y'all niggas complain about boroughs. This shit is different.
It's the fucking difference. You cannot tell me a nigga from the Bronx is not gonna feel some type of way if you say he from Brooklyn. Like,
absolutely.
Like, the fuck, I'm not from Cherry Hill, dummy. I'm from over east. I'm from down the hill. I'm not from, listen, it's a difference. It's a difference. I swag different. My drip is different, okay? Okay, respect the east side drip. The fuck?
Yeah. Like, I don't know, but so we'll get ready to wrap up here, or have you. Let's see. Like advice that you would give someone that's in the art scene and, maybe based in people you've worked with, like, yo, what are a few things that if people want to kind of excel to that next level, kind of get their stuff seen, kind of get some infrastructure around them, kind of get people that are supporting them around them and, jobbed up for what they're doing, what advice would you give them?
Be consistent. Consistency is key. It's king. It reigns supreme. Like, you can be the best artist ever, but if you only popping out once in a while in the beginning stages, you're not going to get the type of traction that you need. People need to see you every day. Now, once you get to that moment and you feel like you got that following, when you're making that kind of money where you can go silent for 6 months and pop out with an amazing art installation and live off of that for a few months or years or whatever, do that shit. But in the beginning, be consistent, be present, do things that make you happy. You feel me? Like, I know taking care of your bills is important. I know money is important. I know that building wealth is important. But you want to also remember that you're doing this because you love it. It's your passion. You want to feed your passion. Like, you want to do things because you love them and because they pay good money, you know? And build a team. You feel me? You can't be everywhere. You can't do everything. Like, I think, excuse me, the best thing about the Gallery About Nothing is that we have a team. You know, you see my face on the page a lot, like on the Instagram, in the interviews that we do. You see my face, but like there's someone behind the camera. There's someone that makes the flyers. There's someone that makes sure that all the bills are paid. There's someone that buys the canvases. There's a team of us that we all play our role, and we all know our role, and we understand why the other person is in the role that they're in, you know, and we support each other. So make a team, and like, be completely honest with yourself at all times in your process. And I know it might sound cliche, but definitely check yourself, like, at all times, in a loving, caring way. But check yourself. You feel like you're not on your right path anymore. You feel like the people around you are not the people that should be around you. Do that shit. Like, change your life. A good checking of yourself can and will change your life. If you need it, you need it. If you think you need it, you need it. So
That's great, and definitely something that's, I think, applicable through all types of artists, all types of, I think, people going into business, all types of people who are tastemakers. It's like, if you want to kind of ascend to another level and have people see your shit, or hear your shit, or experience your shit, whatever it is, you need to be consistent with it. You need to have people around you know it's not only you that leads to this thing being successful, or this thing being seen, or whatever, because that's something that I ran into, you know, like, doing this, I do the editing, do all of these different fucking things, and I know how to do all of it. And what I've kind of learned over the last few years is it's great to learn how to do all of it. Now figure out how you can delegate it. Now figure out how you can pass it off, so you have an expectation level for what you're looking for in building out that team. And it's always a, you know, how you get that iPhone update? It's like that.
Right. And I think it's really powerful when we come together as like a community and unite. Because if one person in the team is winning and everyone else isn't, that's not a good team. You feel me? I think Jay-Z had a line in a song a while back, and he was like, if you're the only one eating, we don't call it winning over there, or some shit like that. And that's a real thing. Like, your whole team needs to be eating. Everyone needs to be supporting each other in whatever field they're in. You feel me? Like, I love my friends. I post their shit. If I can't pop up at an event, trust and believe I've sent people there to your event. Like, it's support. It's all of us winning, and that's beautiful, because when you know you have that kind of support, you know that the people around you want to see you win because they winning. They don't have no reason to be hurting. They don't have no reason to be jealous. They don't have no reason to try to take away from your success. And iron sharpen iron, and all that cliche shit, but it's so real. It's so real.
So lastly, real quick, you know, shameless plugs. Where can he find that Gallery About Nothing? Where can he find you? Social media, all of that good stuff.
Oh, shameless plug time, my favorite. So you can follow the Gallery About Nothing at the Gallery About Nothing on Instagram and Facebook, and on Twitter we are sellart.notdrugs. I mean, that's Twitter. I said Facebook, but on Twitter we are sellart.notdrugs. And then you can find me, Maya Camille, on Twitter and Instagram at Phony Braxton. And that's PHONI, and Braxton like Tony, and it's an underscore. So yeah. I shaved all my head off. I shaved all the hair off my head last year. This time I was bald, and now I have hair again, which is wild. And like, they started calling me Phony Braxton, and then it's like phony.
My
It was dark. I
my
love it.
manager, her name is Maya, and she was going to be on this when we were doing it at the studio, what have you. And she was like, "I want to ask a question about this whole phony Braxton nomenclature. What's this about?" Now she has that answer. So much love and respect.
Yeah, 'cause people are like, "Where did you get it from? Your name's Maya." I'm like, I know. It's funny. It sticks. It's a good story. And like when I shave my head, I do resemble the Braxtons. I'm not going to stunt. It's a stunt. I do not look like them at all. But it was fun while it lasted.
When I shave my head, I'm told I look like a killer, and I'm like, "Come on, man. Can I live? Can I just live?" So that's that. I want to thank you for coming on, being a part of this, and for everyone that's been listening, checking in, and we want to thank you for coming through, listening, and supporting the Baltimore arts and all that good stuff. And for Maya Camille and the Gallery About Nothing, this is Rob Lee saying, "There's art always in Baltimore. You just gotta look for that shit." Peace.